Hey, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Boardgame Co. and this is an unboxing and rambling of Mosaic, A Story of Civilization, Colossus Edition. Colossus Edition. I got it right the first time. I second-guessed myself. Either way, this is an unboxing and rambling. First of all, as usual, coffee shot and the knife and all that stuff. We're going to go ahead and dive into this box. We're going to go ahead and drink my coffee, which I nicely prepared for this unboxing. I don't know why I do this, by the way. The reality is that pausing for a sip of coffee kind of interrupts the flow. You're like in the middle of a sentence, and then before you get to the next part of the sentence, you take a little sip, which throws everything off. It does give people a chance to catch up on all the things I've been saying all along, but for some reason, coffee has become part of my unboxing routine, so that I feel weird unboxing stuff without coffee. I do it, but I feel weird about it. But let's go ahead and go through what is possibly one of the... I don't think I can do this on the top. I don't think I can. This box currently looks to be in good condition. I say that because I've seen some, I guess, reports of different levels of condition, and this is from Forbidden Games, by the way, who I believe I did an unboxing of... I'm pretty sure I did an unboxing of the deluxe edition of Lizard Wizard, a game I thoroughly enjoyed, but also got rid of because it was a little too long for the experience it gave me. There's still Raccoon Tycoon in my basement. I need to play that one. My basement is a fancy name for my studio. They're all one and the same. And I also, by the way, speaking of which, this was selected by people in my chat this morning, my Q&A, because I'm also overdue for an unboxing of Skyrim. I'm also overdue for an unboxing of The Hunters. I'm overdue for an unboxing of V-Sabotage. I'm overdue for an unboxing of Petrichor. There's a bunch of unboxings I'm overdue for. But I try to take these one day at a time so as to not completely overwhelm myself with all the games I'm unboxing. But this is a Mosaic, Story of Civilization. Very excited for this one. I plan on diving into this solo, which is, I think, one of the few player accounts I have not played this game as. This is way too much. It just can't fit everything on this table. Let's go ahead and see what we can do over here. This is a great game, in my opinion. I'm biased, but I'm not biased. Why am I biased? There's no reason to be biased here. I like the game a lot. I've played this game multiple times. I've played it during the prototype phase. I've played it since the prototype phase. I played it recently at Gen Con. We have, what do we have over here? Lots of things. We have the hero, the Solitaire rules from David Turczi. This is what I'm going to have to go ahead and go through. Oh, that doesn't bode well. That does not actually bode well, unfortunately. I was all excited for the Solitaire mode for this game. But David Turczi, who is an incredible designer, make no mistake about this whatsoever, his solo modes play more realistically, but that means a higher degree of decision tree, generally. I have not loved David Turczi's solo modes. I find that they are excellent at mimicking other players, but with a slower process as you try to figure out what exactly they're going for. Very well done. His stuff is very well liked. But also, I mean, like, this is the solo mode, and it's an entirely separate rulebook of how to play the solo game. Fortunately, I know how to play the main game, so maybe this won't be so bad. I will definitely try this out. Who knows? I like this game enough that maybe this is the time that I actually do love a David Turczi solo mode. Past that, we have a how to play and a how to play. I really don't know what the difference... I genuinely don't know what's going on here. We have a how to play and a how to play. Is this common? This looks like the same book. Is one of these, like, here's my problem. Here's my fear right now. My fear is that one of these books is not like the other. My fear is that one of these books has a degree of, like, some typo corrected that the other one does not. They're both 24 pages long. I'm saying that before actually looking, but they're both 24... Nope, they're not. Wait, no, they are. See? Almost got me. They're both 26 pages long. There might be something about these books that one of these is right and the other one is wrong, but I don't know what that is, which means I'm forever doomed to keeping two rule books. Yay. I'm going to have to look this up. I don't know if it's a thing. We do have these reference cards, 3 of these reference cards. Now, these are helpful. In fact, you probably want 6 of these reference cards, but you could put them between players. These give you just all the information, the key information you need about things, although these are going to be outdated as soon as you get the new expansion content. They have, what's it called? Mosaic Wars and Disease, War and Famine, something like that. I don't know what they actually called it. They have an expansion for Mosaic. In fact, speaking of which, Mosaic is probably on Kickstarter when you watch this. I already reviewed Mosaic, so I don't know if I'm going to bother reviewing it, but I might do a gameplay, a solo gameplay of Mosaic for funsies. So if you want to see that doing the Kickstarter, I may have that. I already reviewed it. I love the game. I'm not worried about that. Since playing it at Gen Con, my opinion hasn't changed. I find Mosaic to be absolutely compelling, very solidly enjoyable, lighter than Terraforming Mars, same general tableau building feel. I can definitely find things to complain about, which is usually what I do in my reviews, but overall, still a 5 out of 5 for me. I just find it very, very simple and compelling. Also, I don't do perfect games, so to me, a 5 out of 5 is just a very, very good game. Either way, Civilization achievements, Golden Ages, wonders, governments. Again, this can be basically defunct. I'm assuming that there'll be other governments and cards and things that make these practically useless once we get to the expansion. But hey, maybe they'll have new ones. And then we have just Punchboard with a degree of heft. The degree of this Punchboard heft is Well, there's a lot going on here. We have a lot of things as far as punchboard options here. I'm not going to punch this now, but holy schmageggies. Holy, there's so much stuff here. Oh, I got the board. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we got over here. This is so many options. We're going to see what we can do. I'm going to try to balance this against... This is like some of the thicker punchboard I've ever seen. But let's go ahead and first show you the board. Mosaic is a tableau building game. It's a game in which you're going to be taking actions one after another. Let's see if we can get this over here. Nope. We're taking actions one after another from roughly 8 different actions. The actions you can take are all listed on this board for the most part, but you can build a wonder, you can build one of a city or a port city, you can go ahead and increase your population, you can go ahead and take a technology card, you can go ahead and down here, if you can see it, you can take a tariff action, you can take a military action or a government action, and I think those are the 8 actions. I didn't count them up, but those should be. We have wonders. Okay, we have wonders, building, we have working your population, I missed that one, building your population, technology, tariff, military, and government. Those are the 8 actions you can take. Meanwhile, you're going to be spreading around this board. These boards are going to be populated with a bunch of tokens you're going to set up on the board before the game begins, and you're going to be trying to spread around there. The area control is very loose. Think area control in the same vein as Terraforming Mars, meaning it matters what you do, but it's not... It's more ambient. I don't know if that's the right word. Like, it's not about, like, specifically high degrees of area control, like a full-on area control like El Grande. It's far more about what aspects you're going for, trying to get extra scoring points. It's a loose area control. Again, akin to Terraforming Mars. We have our player boards over here. These are different player boards. We'll track your population. These are nicely double layered. And there are other options for these. This is where I'm going to go ahead and pull out the incredibly over-the-top, deluxeified large player boards, because we have these too. This is insane. This is, I don't know what I prefer. That's not true, that's a lie. I know exactly what I prefer. I don't know why I got these, but let's go ahead and go through this. These over here, sorry for the loud rustling. We'll get to the punch boards shortly. These are the over-the-top, ridiculously large player boards that I feel are unnecessary because they are way too large. And the question is the table space worth this? This is like convention kind of coverage, because I can't imagine this being useful in any other practical reality. Let's go ahead and pull this out. So what do we have here? We have our player boards. Let's go ahead and show you the player board options so we can take a look at a side-by-side. You can't even see a full side-by-side on camera. Maybe you can a tab. Let's do purple versus purple so you can see this over here. Both of them are going to be tracking your trade goods. Both are going to be tracking your production. These productions are obviously bigger. This one tracks your symbols, which is a nice little thingy, but I don't know if it's worth the table space. Also, there's some degree of bending or quality control on these ones, which I think is just the nature of the way they're packaged. So these are a little bit more bent already. I think these are probably going to go into a, hey, if we're ever playing on a giant, large table situation. Again, it has extra stuff. It has stuff for your tokens, so you can keep your tokens over here. It has your government cards. But overall, the sheer amount of extra table space over here is just over the top compared to the benefit it gives you. The nicest thing it has are these dials. These dials are very nice. I will give you that. Maybe if I'm playing a 2-player game, I can see the perks. I can see the perks of it. I'm not questioning that. We also have a playmat, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to bother going through that. There's enough stuff to go through here as it is. Over here, we have our Civilization Achievement Goal, or Wonder cards. This is going to be basically our scoreboard. Our scoreboard tracking the achievements over here, all the decks over there, and then we're going to go ahead and have just our scoring. Again, double layered, simple scoring board, all of that. I'm going to completely forget how to put this all away. We'll have to figure this out. This is a very, very large, oh my gosh, it's a very, very large board with a lot of things going on here. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Let's go ahead and awkwardly pause, take a sip of coffee while I further bend my player boards. So, like I said already, I played this game doing the Kickstarter. I really enjoyed it back then. I played it since at Gen Con. I really enjoyed it there. We have our leaders over here. So these are our leaders. We can rip this off over here because we won't need that. But leaders will give you a small asymmetric boost. So you have the artist, the engineer, the farmer, general. I'm pretty sure that's Glenn Drover, if I'm not mistaken, the designer of the game. We have our magistrate, we have merchant, start with 30 money, 1 manufactory town, 5 tariff production, gain 2 money, unique trade goods tiles when playing a tax card. So they all give you different strategies as far as how you play into that character. These are going to line nicely in here. Again, this is where a lot of things will go into these. I'm going to have to spend time to properly show you like how this all goes together. But different tokens will go into these trays. If I recall correctly, I think it's just money. I don't know actually what goes in these trays. I have to take a look. But we should have some degree of thingies over here that we could put here. So let's see if we got. Because we got these over here, which I think these are your 2 token trays, if I'm not mistaken, which means they should go like this as far as lining up nicely. And then you should be able to just dump these into their respective trays. I think. I'm not certain about this. But let's go ahead and just do this here. Oh, already off the side there. And then over here, like so. And this will just be how you theoretically are doing this. Although the different size tokens, I don't even know. Oh, yep, we got different size tokens. Yay, us, I guess. So we have these larger ones. I don't know if I'm doing this right at all. I will regret this later, but that's okay. We can regret it later together. And by together, I mean me all by my lonesome trying to figure out why I thought this was a good idea as I do this. Do I have more tokens? Where are these tokens? I don't even know where the tokens would be necessarily, because you see with the stone we have 2 different resource types over there, but with these I don't know what we have. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep dumping these in over here as far as just trying to gather different trays of resources. But while worrying that I'm doing this incorrectly, I think the books, oh, that's right, these are the issue. These are the issue. See, here, already we got the problem here, because we don't have enough trays for this stuff. But we'll figure that out right now, just doing it this way, and deal with the rest later. Because you see we have the food and the fish. If I recall correctly, the fish is worth more than the wheat, but they're all the same resource. I have to try to think through my play of the game because I don't remember offhand. But these will all just go in here for right now, just for the sake of having a few things condensed, and we'll figure out the problem of how things were supposed to be stored later. That'll be future Alex's problem as I try to figure out what goes in here. This is usually the part where somebody in the comment section points out the obvious part I missed, where it shows you exactly how everything is stored. We're gonna go ahead and dump all our coins into this tray as well. This is where, you know what, honestly, I am skipping on my unboxing duties here. I am not showing you all the fun stuff. Let's go ahead and just do a bit of a rewind on some of that stuff over here. Not a huge rewind, but just showing you the Deluxify tokens because that's part of this unboxing. But over here, we got these chunky Deluxify tokens. I believe the box has some basic resources along with it, like the Punchboards, which I'll show you shortly. I believe we have Punchboards full of those resources as well, but these are definitely nicer. This is one of the things that Lizard Wizard also had absolutely fantastic chonky bits as far as these tokens. We have books and scrolls, and then we'll have coins shortly. And again, books and scrolls, I believe, are the same resource, just different quantities. 5 versus 1, I believe. And then we have our coins, which let's go ahead and show you what we have. This is a significant step up from Lizard Wizard. Lizard Wizard, I gave a very hard time in my unboxing about the fact that their coins were, frankly, terrible. Like, really, really bad as far as being able to distinguish the different currencies. And it was, I mean, they were cheap, to give credit where credit is due, but they felt like they were cheap for a reason, if that makes sense. Now this is where we're going to have to figure out exactly how we do all this. I'm going to go ahead and condense all of these into here so that I have room for the coins in different currencies in different ways. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not, but we'll figure it out. If I put these here and these here, oh no, 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 no. I messed up. We're good. Give me a second here. Go put those there like there. Put the food over here. I feel there's a better way to do this and a better way this might be supposed to be stored. But again, that's future Alex's problem. Present Alex is just trying to get coins and tokens all together in a single spot. Besides, depending on what you need, depending on the size of the table you're playing on, if you need those large player trays, then you may need these separated out into 2 different things. But let's go ahead and, now that we have that, let's show you the coins. So, these coins are not as nice as the chonky resources, but certainly nicer than the coins from Lizard Wizard. Overall, these are fine, and again, they were very reasonably priced. One of the things Mosaic does well is their coins and their resources are very, very affordably priced, which is a nice little plus there. Here we have our giant pile of coins. Over here, all of that, and then more of these ones. So just lots of Deluxified resources, lots of improved coins, and Mosaic was a game that you had so many different ways of getting the game. And even now, if you want this game's a fantastic game, and you can get your hands on this fantastic game without paying a premium if you go to, I'm trying to remember who had it already. Different stores had it already, but the point is you can get your hands on this game without paying a giant premium. That's the main point I'm going for. What was that giant premium? How does this even go together? I guess I could do it like this. I don't love how I put this top on. I'm not sure if there's a right way or a wrong way, but we're going to go with it. Either way, let's put this back over here. Now, I will show you briefly over here, so you can see on the top camera. This is what the inside of the box looks like. We're not going to show you absolutely everything. There's 6 different factions there. We don't need to go through it all, but we can pull out one faction. Let's go through green. It's kind of a judgment call of what shows up best on camera. Not all colors show up well on camera, for the record. Like orange in particular has a very bad highlight when you put it on camera. The green though should be fine. And they're all going to go into this little tray. This part I do remember from playing it. These are not painted. I'd love to paint them in theory. I'm not going to paint them in actuality. But again, these are all, I'm trying to remember what the retail version of the game has. It's half the price or less. It's significantly cheaper, but you don't get a lot of the nicest. I don't remember if you get miniatures. You may or may not get miniatures in the retail version of the game. I don't remember. But we have different city options over here, different tokens as far as the different types of buildings you can build over here. I think there's one more building. I'm looking for a port over here. Where's my port? Where's my port? Where's my port? Is that a port? No, maybe. I feel like I should have one more area. Here we go. Here we go. There's the 4 areas. Here are the 4 building types you can have in this game. You're going to have your towns, your manufacturing towns, your like other towns, your ports, and your cities. I don't remember what they're all called, but these are all going to be in this over here. And then they're just going to go into your little resource bin over there where you can pull them out as needed as you go through things. Then you have various units. The units will have minimal actual effect as far as the differences. Some cards will reference the different units in different ways, but for the most part, they don't matter. And we have your workers too. These are going to be your workers that you try to hire, which you'll use in different ways. But so we have our workers, which we'll go through over here. That's like our little worker dude. And these are very basic miniatures. This is not going to be a command style miniature, not in the slightest, or an Awakened Realms or Mythic Games. This is going to be more of a basic miniature, but it does do the job. And I've played with these already. They have a degree of immersion they add to the table. We have our little soldiers and our little cavalry. So the catapults have their own purpose. Our soldiers and cavalry, some cards will reference. And then you have your individual workers. And then these will all go into your tray, where you can then fiddle with stuff to pull out what you need. It does the job. I generally dump things together anyway, so I don't have to deal with a high degree of setup and teardown as I go through things. But let's put this back over here. I'm like trying to remember what went where as I went through this, which I think I'm doing a good job. This box is ridiculously over the top, by the way. This box has to go somewhere. These I probably should have left in the individual player colors, but we'll worry about that in the future. We have our score sheet. We have our first player marker. This is something that Forbidden Games does in general, where they have these over-the-top first player markers, which are honestly quite nice. I mean, these are nice. I'm not going to complain about this at all. They had these for Lizard Wizard, for Raccoon Tycoon, and they are very nice when they do. But yeah, Lizard Wizard was definitely a game that... I miss Lizard Wizard. I miss it. It's a good game. It's a good game that the biggest problem it had... What are these? Ooh, these are going to be our wonders. We have our wonders, too. Lizard Wizard is a game that was just a little bit too long for what it was. And there were house rules as far as making it a little bit more manageable. Ultimately, I don't love house rules. I'm okay with them in some situations. In fact, there's a video that's overdue that I've been meaning to do for a while about when I'm okay with house rules and not. And it's very situational as far as when I'm okay with them. But either way, let's go ahead and do some of these wonders. These are going to be wonders you can buy that go on the board in different ways. So just different just wonders of the world. And I'm sure there'll be more expansions for this stuff. The War and Famine expansion, which I think is what it's called. I'm still not exactly certain. I don't remember. But that's because there's a million Kickstarters and game founds and backer kits and all these things. The more words that come out all the time. It used to just say Kickstarter. Now it's like you can say crowdfunding, or you can say all the various platforms. You haven't even started with, Indiegogo, which doesn't really do games that much. And then we have Game on Tabletop, which does things, but more of an international market. Then we have Hasbro Pulse, which currently has the Heroescape reprint over on Hasbro Pulse. And then we have our cards over here. So here's where we have our decks full of cards. Decks and decks full of cards over here. Let's go ahead and open these up. These are mostly going to be, well, the way it works in this game is you're basically taking a bunch of actions like I mentioned already, which is like you're taking one of 8 possible actions. And the way it works is the game end is triggered when the third Empire scoring card is drawn from 4 possible Empire scoring cards. But along the way, you got different decks you're pulling cards from, so some of those actions will trigger different things. I still haven't even gotten to the Punchboard. But a lot of these, so you can see over here, are Empire scoring. It's going to be shuffled into the deck, but you're going to have different cards you have from the technology. So this is all the technology cards you're going to have. It's a whole bunch of technology cards, the single most card you have. And you're trying to, some cards require symbols, you can see on the side here. Other cards give you symbols, and other cards play off of symbols in a bunch of ways, while all cards are basically improving your tableau as you go through the game. The basic idea is everything you do is good for you. The question is which sequence of good things is better in what order. Do you do this then that so that you can get the most points? Do you do that then this so you can get the most points? And whoever figures out that puzzle while managing the cards available in the general table state, that person's going to win the game. Usually, for the most part. We have our population empire scoring track, as well as our population cards to increase your population. We have our tax scoring card with our tariffs and taxes you'll be going through in the game. And then we have some more piles here, including our solo mode, which I will have to learn because I plan on playing this game solo sometime in the next week, I want to say. Hopefully, maybe. I need more time to play games, but hopefully I'll be diving into the solo. We have our building empire scoring card over here, along with the various farm towns and manufacturing towns. I have to sleeve this game ASAP. I really have to sleeve this game. I have been so behind on sleeving games these days. First of all, I'm low on sleeves. I generally get sleeve kings. By the way, I forgot to say in the beginning, this is an unboxing and rambling. If you're new to the channel, that means I go all over the place here. But sleeve kings is my default brand of sleeves that I usually use, and I've been low on them ever since the last Kickstarter has been a while ago. So I've been buying them at retail where they're a little more expensive. I like getting them at the Kickstarter where they're cheaper. But here's our solo mode cards. I recognize this from looking at the solo rulebook. It looks like more solo rules cards. So these are all the solo cards I'll need to learn as I go through the experience. And I have no clue what goes in here. This is where we have an absolute ton of things that we haven't even figured out where they go and how they work because of the nature of, well, all the Punchboard stuff not being done yet. Let's go ahead and put all this back in over here. Let's see what we can get sorted. These are not going to go in the box. Honestly, these might fit. If these fit in the box, I'd be okay with them. It doesn't feel like they fit in the box. I don't love that. I wish they fit in the box, but we'll deal with that later. Maybe some of them fit in the box, because honestly, I'm never going to use all 6. Maybe if I only kept like 3 of them, maybe there's a conversation that works. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. For right now, these are going to go off to the side. But we also have our score sheet, which I forgot to deal with. I don't care. We'll deal with this later. I don't really use the score sheets. I'll find a place for it later. We'll go through all that. But let's go through the Punchboards. Punchboards. So, what do we got over here? We got our Punchboards from Mosaic over here. These, again, hefty, thick Punchboard. I don't know what you can see over here, but this is a very solid, thick Punchboard. And these are going to be your Golden Age cards you're going for, your Wonders. You have all of those. And I'm going to punch these all out and sort them later. But they give you different things to go for. And these are very, very solid as far as point scoring. We have our Civilization achievements. Again, more of your giant chunks of points. Lots of 6 points here, 6 points there. 6 points everywhere. We have these, which are completely unnecessary because these are replaced by the improved, this board, and this board are all improved by their 3D element that will look more obvious on the board, making it much better. We have this board that's different and unnecessary. We have this board that's different. These are all the punch boards. These generally go in the garbage because it always feels bad, but I'm not going to keep these over the better alternatives. And they are better alternatives. So I think we're looking at a few punch boards of not being saved for anything. These, though, are necessary. You're going to have these, which are going to go on the map. These you sort face down. They're going to be trade goods. They go on the map in different ways. When you build on the map, you'll get spots for that. We have these X tokens, which I can't remember. It feels like there's a whole lot of them, so they must have a purpose, but I can't remember why there are so many of them at all. Like, I really can't remember. Why are there so many X trade goods? Is that literally just... That feels like a mistake. But either way, not a mistake. It feels like these are meant to exist, but I don't know why. We have a few of these government cards over here. This is one of the areas of the game that I've consistently underutilized. The governments in general I've underutilized. Oh my gosh, it feels like most of this Punchboard is garbage. I feel so bad. We have all our units over here. All the units over here for the game that are unnecessary because we have people. More units for the game which are unnecessary because we have people. More soldiers, or peasants, workers for the game, as well as our Wonders, which are all unnecessary because we have people. So basically, about... I don't know, 7/10 of this is garbage, which feels very bad. And this is where, I get it. I get manufacturing. It's a hard challenge, and it's hard to figure it out. But the problem is manufacturing is tough. On the one hand, I'd rather not have that wastage. It feels like a complete waste because it is a complete waste. On the other hand, it's actually fairly expensive to try to produce different SKUs and manage all that stuff, and so that might just be the most efficient way to do so, even though it generates some degree of waste. I don't love it, but it is what it is. But I'm not keeping them. It doesn't serve me any better to have it as waste in my house as opposed to... Yeah, I don't love it. Anyways, that is Mosaic. That is an unboxing of Mosaic, A Story of Civilization. I hope to dive into this solo. I need to sleeve the cards first because I want to shuffle the cards, and that means I need to sleeve the cards. So maybe, again, the Kickstarter, when I'm filming this, the Kickstarter launches tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. But that also means that I don't know when the solo gameplay goes up. Let's hope for a solo gameplay before the end of the campaign. If you're looking for my opinion of the game, I have already said very publicly, very many times, that I really, really, really like Mosaic. I find it to be very rewarding. I don't know if the box size justifies the game. It's a big box. It's a very big box. I don't know if the box size or the cost justifies the game. You're probably fine with the retail edition of the game if you want to save money. There are some definite nice quality of life additions to having the big box. Your call. Ultimately your call. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Boardgame Co. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and rambling. And as always, I hope you have a good one.